Welcome back to the second lecture in our Israel series. Last time we talked about the prehistory, the state of Israel, from Theodor Herzl's 1896 Die Judenstaat and the 1897 First Zionist Congress to the summer of 1948 and the foundation of the state of Israel and subsequent War of Independence. Today we're going to pick up the story 19 years later. Talk about one of the most important of the Arab-Israeli wars, the Six-Day War in 1967. When we last left Israel, the year was 1948. It was June, and some 96,000 Haganah, Irgun, and paramilitary forces of the now Israelis were able to fend off numerically superior number of not only Arab Palestinian gunmen, but also the Lebanese, the Syrian, the Iraqi, the Jordanian, and the most powerful, the Egyptian army. It was due in no small part to Soviet arms coming via Czechoslovakia in the first days of June, which shifted the balance of power in favor of the Israelis. This is, of course, one side of the story. The other side of the story is the Palestinian perspective. The summer of 1948, the foundation of Israel was not greeted with great rejoicing in the Arab Muslim community. The event is referred to as Al-Nakba, the catastrophe. Resulted in hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of refugees seeking asylum in Lebanon, Syria, and especially Jordan and the West Bank. From 1948 until 1967, the area here on the map designated the West Bank was under the control of the Jordanian government. That is going to change, though, in 1967. The Six-Day War, so named because it lasted for 6 days. Syria, Jordan, and Egypt, all of whom had been defeated by Israel in 1948, were seeking revenge. Seeking revenge and seeking to destroy entirely the state of Israel. On the right side of the screen here we have a charmingly racist cartoon from the Arab media from the time. We have the Egyptian president, Gamal Abdel Nasser, kicking a grotesque caricature of what I assume is an Israeli off the end of a cliff. That was the goal. But Israeli intelligence discovered the plan in advance and launched a daring preemptive strike. Gamal Abdel al-Nasser is the president, leader of Egypt. He had been ruling the country since a coup toppled the British-backed king in 1952. He was a populist. He was a nationalist. He sought to westernize and modernize the country, but do so on its own terms and not on the terms of the British-supported King Farouk. In Jordan, we have the grandson, the Sharif of Mecca, King Hussein, who also comes to the throne in 1952, but will rule much longer than Gamal Abdel Nasser, not dying until 1999. His son is currently the king of Jordan. In Syria, the de facto ruler is the defense minister, Hafez al-Assad. 3 years after the Six-Day War, he will become the president, an office he will retain for the next 3 decades until his death in 2000. Like King Hussein in Jordan, Hafez al-Assad was succeeded by his son, Bashar al-Assad, who is currently president of Syria. And although he had the title president and his son has the title president, don't let that fool you into thinking that Syria is in any way, shape, or form a democracy. These then are the 3 Arab Muslim leaders arrayed against Israel here in 1967. As mentioned, this was a preemptive war. Israel saw the gathering threat posed by Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. Intelligence gathered from Mossad was able to show that there were intensive troop buildups along the Suez Canal and along the Jordan River and in the West Bank. The Israelis decided not to wait, but rather to strike preemptively. 6 days later, the war was over. Let's go to the tape.